Coming up in this episode of the Theme Park News Show, I share my thoughts on Orion, a new Giga Coaster coming to Kings Island. Along with that, I talk all about a new coaster coming to Dreamworld in Australia. Plus, as D23 kicks off for another year, I share all of the park announcements so far. It's Friday, the 23rd of August 2019, and this is the Theme Park News Show. I'm Sean Sandbrook and welcome to the Theme Park News Show. As always, it's been a busy week for new uploads here on our YouTube channel. In fact, we upload a brand new video every day, so make sure you come back and check them out. But yes, the last few vlogs have gone online from me and Charlotte's road trip through the Netherlands and Belgium. Of course, we went to quite a few different parks and a couple of fun fairs as well. There's 8 vlogs in total and they're all in a playlist, so make sure you check those out. Along with that as well, it's been a busy week for Theme Park News, as you're going to find out in this bumper episode. Lots to talk about, some big news from all across theme parks around the world, so very exciting, and we'll move straight into it in just a second. Also just want to say a big thank you to everyone who came along to Alton Towers last Friday on Roller Coaster Day and supported me during my Nemesis Challenge. I actually rode it 63 times, which is crazy. Bear in mind my original target was 25 for 25 years of the ride, but now I managed to smash it out the water and did 63 rides on there. So thanks to everyone that came along and supported me. I saw lots of fans of the channel who came and joined me for a ride on Nemesis last Friday, and if you haven't seen the vlog yet, it is online. Make sure you check it out from Roller Coaster Day 2019. And how many rides can I get on Nemesis in a day? 63. I'm proud of that. But there we go. Let's move in then to all the theme park news this week in News on the Tracks. First up then, let's share some news from Kings Island over in Ohio, as they've announced their brand new roller coaster that's going to be opening in spring 2020. It's going to be called Orion, and it's actually a B&M Giga Coaster. However, it's not actually 300 foot tall, it's 287 foot tall with a 300 foot drop. Now there's been a lot of people this week saying, oh, is it a true Giga Coaster? Well, you've got to remember it has got that 300 foot drop, so you know, I would class it because of that, even though it's not 300 foot tall off the ground. But yes, Orion is the name for this ride. I'll go more into the theme and everything in a moment if you can't guess already. And as I'm talking about it, I'll put in a bit of footage provided by the park so you can see it in action, and then we'll have a look at a POV for the ride. But yes, Giga Coaster of course does mean over 300 foot. However, it's going to start with this 300 foot drop from 287 feet, meaning it's sort of going to go down further, dig into the ground a bit more to get that maximum height of the drop. It's going to feature 7 different Camelbacks providing airtime. It's got a total track length of 5,321 feet and a top speed of an impressive 91 miles an hour. So this ride will be part of the park's new Area 72, and it will focus on the scientists' race against time to develop technology capable of weaving transport vehicles through a meteor storm and travelling to a new planet within the Orion constellation. Ooh, fancy. Riders will be portrayed as volunteers to help with testing the prototypes. I like rides that have got a bit of theming behind them, and yeah, this does sound great. I mean, I'm kind of hoping the feel of it's going to look a bit like Hyperion at Energylandia, a really sort of modern sort of space feel to it. That's what I'm hoping for. A lot of silvers and greys and black colour schemes all throughout the queue line. Quite a modern but, you know, futuristic space style theme to it. But yeah, I really like all that storyline to it there, and of course you've seen a bit of footage there as well from that official teaser video. But before we look at the POV, let's just share my thoughts. I'll sort of talk about what I think to it. In terms of the layout, I think it's interesting. I was hoping that it was going to be bigger than Leviathan and Fury 325, and it's ended up being shorter than that. Obviously, you've got Leviathan, which is over at Canada's Wonderland, and you've got Fury 325 at Carowinds. I was hoping they're both Cedar Fair parks that were going to sort of top their own Giga record and build it a bit taller. So I am a little bit disappointed with that, but I think the layout looks good. I wouldn't say it looks outstanding, but the fact that you've got them 7 Camelback hills, some sort of turnaround section that reminds me a little bit of the ampersand on Shambhala at Portaventura. So I'm hoping it's going to ride well. I'm not too sure when I'll get out there to go and ride it. We didn't have the best day at Kings Island, but I'm willing to go and give it another go in the future. After coming back from the US trip and thinking about it, I'd like to go back and give it another try on another day and go and ride Orion at some point. But yeah, this will be opening in spring 2020. Enough talking about it. Here's a look at a POV of this exciting new Giga Coaster. You can really feel that speed in the POV there, and I think it'll be a great ride. Hopefully it rides a lot better than it looks in some parts of the layout. It kind of annoys me a little bit how high it looks like the brake run is at the end. It feels like it could have done a little bit more around there. However, it'll be a great ride for the park, and for me, Kings Island sort of lacked a big standout steel coaster. The Beast as a wooden coaster was great, and that's the standout at the moment, but in terms of a big standout steely, this will be the one, I think, for that park. So I'm looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts on Orion opening at Kings Island down below in the video comments. Released just a couple of days ago then, let's talk about Dreamworld Australia, as they've announced a huge regeneration of the park, not just an expansion, a regeneration they're calling it. 70 million Australian dollars are being spent on this, so I'm looking forward to seeing where all the money is going to be spent. However, we already know a couple of things. One's that just opened and something's coming soon. So let's firstly talk about the new attraction that's opened. It's a new flying theatre. So if you've been on Voletarium at Europa Park, Flying Dreams, Portaventura, Soaring at the Disney parks, they've just opened their own version of that this week. It's the first flying theatre in the Southern Hemisphere as well, so I'm sure that's going to go down well over there. Australia's never really had the ride hardware. I mean, it's not got loads in terms of parks anyway, but you know, there's a lot of expansion coming. A big GCI was announced for the SeaWorld park out there. You know, there's a lot coming, but yeah, it's good to see Dreamworld have gone and announced something big as well. But yes, they've just opened a flying theatre, and it takes you over some of Australia's most picturesque landscapes and destinations. So I expect to sort of fly over Sydney, I'd imagine, and sort of all out in the outback. You know, I look forward to hopefully experiencing that at some point in the future. The next major investment will be this. Wow, look at the concept. And any roller coaster enthusiasts out there may recognise that. It's a Mack Rides launch coaster. Looks to be a clone of Bluefire at Europa Park, but it won't be the first one. There's actually a few of those clones out there around the world, quite a lot actually now, in different places. I've been on a couple of those myself, and yeah, as much as I do prefer a unique layout when coasters open, the Bluefire layout is good ride. It's solid, you know, and I think it'll be a nice addition to this park from looking at their ride lineup, what they've got coaster wise. Obviously I've never been there, hope to in the near future go out to Australia, and maybe once all these expansions have opened in the next couple of years, that'd be the time to go, I think. I don't think there'd be any point in going before that. It's best waiting for all this new stuff to open. But yeah, in terms of the ride itself, it's going to be a clone of Bluefire from what we can see. Bit of landscaping around it. I like the track colour. I hope that's actually how it's going to be, and not just oh, we'll just colour it that for now. I think that looks good with the orange. But yes, it's going to be a little bit different, because you may remember about 3 years ago, Mack Rides actually trialled the extreme spinning coaster cars on Bluefire's trains. So they literally attached onto the back of the train a spinning car, the ones that have now gone into fruition, and you can ride that as in Time Traveller at Silver Dollar City, and that's a full train of those. However, with this, they actually attached it onto the back of Bluefire. It seems like from the press release they're going to be doing that here, but however it's not going to be a full spinning train. They're just going to attach one on the back that'll spin. As you can see in the video there, that was from Mack Rides about 3 years ago now, when they trialled that on Bluefire, when obviously they were testing the waters ready for time travel of the extreme spinning coaster. So yeah, it's certainly exciting, isn't it? I look forward to following this one. In terms of other work going on there, the children's area is going to have some work done to it, some new infrastructure improvements in terms of the restaurants and shops, and also the water park is going to be getting an expansion as well. So a lot of money's been spent there, but it's good to see. Definitely a reason to go out to Australia in the next couple of years and go out there. I mean, that is a once in a lifetime trip, isn't it, with how far you're going to go and see it all. Like I say, it's never really had loads of coaster hardware. It's DC Rivals are the big draw to me over there at the moment. The big Mack Hyper Coaster, I think that looks incredible. But you know, in terms of other stuff, there's not loads. So I'm looking forward to all this opening up, and I'll definitely be doing a trip out there in the next couple of years to go and see it all. I'd love to go to Australia. It's a dream come true, not just for the parks, for everything, the culture. And yeah, I'd love to go out there and see it. Moving on then, let's talk about a huge new RMC that's just opened this week, just about half a year early, you know. It's Energylandia in Poland. It's Zadra. I did an update on this a couple of weeks ago, gave you some construction updates. It's been testing all week, and it officially opened on Thursday, and wow, this looks incredible. I'll put a POV in just a second so you can see it, officially recorded by the park. However, I'm going to be able to go there and film my own POV in about a week and a half time, because I'm heading out there to go and ride Zadra. It'll be my second visit to Energylandia. I'm going to be spending 2 days at the park, just literally going over, doing Energylandia, and then I'm heading straight over to Finland to Linnanmäki. So yeah, I've got loads to look forward to as we come into September, so make sure you stick about on the channel for loads of new videos. But here we go, let's have a look at Zadra, this huge new RMC that's now open at Energylandia in Poland. That looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it? And I can't wait to get out there in about a week and a half's time and experience that. So stay tuned for the videos here on Theme Park Worldwide. Are you going out to Energylandia this year? Of course, last year they opened Hyperion, the huge mega coaster. They got loads of other coaster hardware. And of course, now got this massive ground up RMC. Are you planning a visit? Let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments. I went to Poland for the first time last year, also visited Legendia, and had a fantastic time out there. It was really good. So check out the vlogs from last year if you've not seen them, and there'll be new vlogs to come from Energylandia in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, moving on then to D23. It's the annual expo from the Walt Disney Company, where they announce all things Disney, from the movies through to the theme parks, which is what I'm going to talk about now. Of course, but there's been a theme park channel. So let's have a little chat about what's been announced so far. Bear in mind, I'm recording this on Friday morning. You're watching it most likely Friday evening. There's more news to come over the weekend, so this Saturday and Sunday. So yes, next week I'll sort of talk about those things that haven't yet been announced at the time of recording, but so far we've got quite a bit to go into from D23. So yeah, this event happens every year and over in Orlando now, in the convention centre, and yeah, right next to Disneyland. Let's have a chat about what's been announced so far. So we know that Avengers Campus is going to be the name of the new area, if I say it right, the new area for Walt Disney Studios in Paris and Disney California Adventure over in California, of course, in Anaheim. And yeah, it's going to be Avengers Campus. That's going to be the new sort of Marvel area, the name for it, in both of them parks. We've got some concept art to show for you here. So here we go, here's the first one, some concept art for the Walt Disney Studios version. We're kind of standing at the exit to what is currently Rock 'n' Roller Coaster, but again that shuts next week to be rethemed to Iron Man. We're sort of standing at the exit there looking at what was the Blockbuster Cafe, which is like the apex in front, looking over to the Spider-Man attraction to the left. So yeah, that's a little view of that sort of angle. Lots of green space, trees, planting. It's going to be nice to see more greenery in Walt Disney Studios. I'm sure a lot of you like that park will agree. Here's a look at the Disneyland overview of the area from above, and you can see Guardians of the Galaxy there in the top sort of corner, and looking down over the area that used to be a Bugs Land. So yeah, you know, a much bigger space there in terms of it's more spread out, more of a street, isn't it? But yeah, I think nonetheless, you know, both of them look fantastic, and they're going to be good investments for those parks. Moving on then, next we've got a new logo for Epcot, which is just here. So we recently had a new logo released for Disney's Hollywood Studios. Good to see they sort of followed suit with Epcot, and I really like it actually. It's sort of, you know, similar to the you know, how it looked before, but a very modern sort of, it actually reminds me of an older version of the logo, but with a modern twist on it. So yeah, that's certainly good for Epcot. But that's not the only thing that's been announced for that park. Oh no. So we already know there's some big changes coming. Ratatouille's going to be opening, the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster, a space restaurant, but there's loads more than that that's just been announced. Here's some concept art for the sort of reimagining of Future World. You can see just there, you've got like Fountains of Nations and everything, all that's coming out. It's going to be very fresh. All the buildings are being redone down at the sides, interventions, all that's being rebuilt. And also a lot more greenery again going in here. It's like you're going to be walking through like a river forest if you're going down to World Showcase. Lots of planting, and yeah, some new water features it seems down there as well. We've also heard this week from D23 that there's going to be a new attraction in the park, all themed to Moana. So I'm sure that'll be a welcome addition. I know a lot of people really like it. Me personally, I enjoy it. It's not one of my favourite Disney movies. However, I think it'll be a nice addition to Epcot. We don't really know where this is going to be in the park at the moment. I've been having a little look through the concept art. Can't really work out exactly where it's going to go. However, you know, I was thinking maybe originally could this be a sort of re-theme to the Seas Pavilion, where you've got the Nemo attraction. Maybe it could be that, because the attraction itself is going to sort of be based all around water, it seems. So yeah, that'll be interesting. The name itself is Journey of Water. So could we be seeing something around the seas maybe, or built next to that? I'm not too sure. Let me know your thoughts in the video comments. Finally, let's just talk about how we're going to be able to see all of this Epcot stuff, what's going to be happening in the next few years before it's built. There's going to be a new Epcot preview centre, hoping to be open by the end of the year. That you'll be able to go into, see all different concepts for the different areas come in, and yeah, sort of the redevelopment, so to speak, of the park. So yeah, really exciting. Look forward to following that. Epcot's a beautiful park. I was unsure how I felt about all the changes coming originally. However, I'm really looking forward to seeing it all now. Parks can't stand still. They've got to keep moving forward. Universal have just announced Epic Universe a couple of weeks back. Disney have got to sort of keep evolving and keep things fresh. As these new parks are going to come along, they're going to start taking away people. They've got to keep these parks moving forward. You know, they're not history museums, are they? You know, they've got to keep moving forward. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Epcot in the future. Whether I'm going to enjoy it as much as I did when I first went before all that IP stuff came in, I'm not too sure, but we'll see what happens, and let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments. Where am I? So welcome to Where Am I? And last week I shared with you this zoomed in image just here. And a lot of people did get this one right yet again. You're too good at this. I was actually sat in Food Loop at Europa Park when I was there on a visit earlier this year. You may have spotted some of the rails up in the ceiling on that one. But here we go, just for fun. All you need to do is guess where I am, comment down below, and if you are struggling, I'll sort of nip in, you know, and give you a few hints. But I've not had to do that for a couple of months because you're too good at this. Here we go. Here's another image. Where am I? And I'll reveal exactly where that photo is in next week's video. So it's time time for your theme park moments, the part of the show where you get to send in your photos, birthday shout outs and so much more here to Theme Park Worldwide. And then every Friday we'll share them here so everyone can see them. So here we go, let's start off with the first photo that's been sent in from Morgan. There she is with her friends at Alton Towers. Up next we've got Gavin with a photo from the Smiler. We've then got Jen at Galaxyland just there. And then we've got Matthew and Freddie on Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Up next we've got Brad and Jazz just there, also at Alton Towers. And then we've got Millie Grace on her first ever roller coaster. Oh, congratulations, hopefully much more to come. Moving on then, we've got Barney and George on Galactica at Alton Towers. And then we've got Oslo just here at Breen. Moving on then, we've got Isla on Space Mountain just there. Pretty sure I pronounced it right, however, probably not because I'm awful at that. But there we go, thanks for sending your photo there from Space Mountain. Up next, we've got Oliver on the Classic Snails at Great Yarmouth. And then we've got Joe with a Nemesis on-ride photo. Up next then, we've got Gabe with a Blue Fire on-ride photo. Hope you had a good time. And then we've got Kellen with a Saw on-ride photo from Thorpe Park. Moving on then, we've got Ben who had a photo there with me. And then we've got Jack up next at Ferrari Land, Red Force there in the background, what a classic. Moving on then, we've got the Sydney family who had a photo here with Mr. Lee Wood. And then we've got Cameron outside Infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. We've then got Izzy who had a photo there with me and Alex. And Jack's got a photo on Icon. Moving on, we've got Casey and her brother on the Antelope there at Gulliver's. Good ride that, I've not been on it for years, got to go back. Then we've got Luke who had a picture with me, great to meet you. Then we've got Sean and Oliver, who also had a photo there with me. And Ollie and Louie, who had a picture with me there as well. Great to see you all, and it was good seeing loads of people at the Nemesis event last week at Alton Towers. Moving on then, we've got Brandon, Jenny and Mark at Disneyland just there. And then we've got Dalt with a Nemesis on-ride photo. We've then got Alfie, Jack and Frankie, who also had a photo with me. And then we've got Conrad and Amelia on Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast just there. What was his score? Let me know down below. Moving on then, we've got Joel and Aidan at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. And then we've got Jasmine at Black Gang Shine just there as well. Moving on then, we've got Josh who had a picture at Thorpe Park. And also Jacob there as well, doing a bit of a different pose. Moving on then, we've got Amy and James on Wicker Man at Alton Towers. And then we've got Ola with an Apocalypse on-ride photo from Drayton Manor. And then we've got Max and Harry who had a photo with John Wardley. Loving the t-shirt there as well. And then we've got Fred and Louie on the Hornet just there. And then we've got Jamie who had a picture with me. So thanks for sending that one in. We've got Steve and Katie at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And then we've got Amy, Chris and Reese at CBeebies Land there as well. And then we've got Adam at the Chained Oak. Loads of photos to go through this week. Over 56 items I believe this week. We've got Tom and family who had a picture with me and Alex, Livy and Amelia at Park Asterix, and then we've got Luke who had a picture with me. Moving on, we've got George at Universal Studios in Florida, Harry on Tidal Wave at Creeley. It looks really steep in that photo, doesn't it? We've then got Cherry and Sophie on the TPW Square, oh yes, get it hashtagged, at Alton Towers just outside Spinball Whizzer. We've got Andrew with a Nemesis on-ride photo. We've got Mason on Shambhala, oh, what a beauty. And then we've got Aidan at Paulton's Park. Moving on, we've got the Holsworth family also on the TPW Square at Alton Towers. Paul and the family on the Zambezi Water Splash there at the West Midlands Safari Park. Adam's up next at Alton Towers. We've got Carolyn with a Troublesome Trucks on-ride photo. Moving on, we've got Ian on Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Up next, we've got Bella and Matthew on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. We've then got Eve at Fantasy Islands just there. We've then got James at Adventure Wonderland. And then we've got Jack with a Swarm on-ride photo from Thorpe Park. Wow, that was a lot of photos to get through. Moving on to the birthday. So a big happy birthday to Luke, Isla, Jess, Bonbon, Ian Kin, we've got Ben Berry, Danny and Ed. So a happy birthday to all of you guys from me and Charlotte and everyone else here at Theme Park Worldwide. Also, congratulations to Matthew and Shauna for getting married. Happy wedding day to Pat and Jimmy, and a happy 50th wedding anniversary to Patricia and William. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much for watching and supporting Theme Park Worldwide. Of course, if you do want to support the channel, you can buy our new official merchandise. There's a link down below in the video description, and you can also see the items just under the video as well if you want to go over and see our shop. Of course, buying things from there does support the channel and helps us bring even more content to you guys. I'm Sean Sandbrook. I'll be back next Friday with another episode, and that means it's time to cue those credits. Have a good week.